History is not a straight line. It is a branching river of infinite possibilities, determined by singular, catastrophic moments. We live in one stream, a reality born of fire and ice, chance and necessity. But what if one of an infinite number of moments had diverted? What if the greatest cataclysm our planet ever knew simply failed to arrive? 66 million years ago, the late Cretaceous period. This is not a young world. Life has had hundreds of millions of years to perfect its forms, and it has. The planet is a hothouse, a global jungle teeming with a dynasty of rulers unlike any that came before or since. They are the dinosaurs. They are the apex, the undisputed masters of every continent, every ocean, every sky. Vast herds of Edmontosaurus, millions strong, move like living rivers across the plains of North America. The armored mountains of Triceratops and Ankylosaurus browse in dense, fortress-like thickets. In the skies, the last of the great pterosaurs, creatures like Quetzalcoatlus with the wingspan of a fighter jet, soar over shallow inland seas. And above them all, the tyrant, Tyrannosaurus rex. It is evolution's perfect predator, a two-story engine of muscle and bone, an animal that does not just live in its environment, but dominates it utterly. This is a world in balance, a complex, brutal, and stable ecosystem. In the shadows of these giants, scurrying in the leaf litter, hiding in burrows, our own ancestors exist. They are tiny, fur-covered mammals. They are not the future. They are the forgotten, the nocturnal survivors, the prey. They are living on borrowed time, completely suppressed by the reptilian order. The evolutionary path for them is a dead end. A world where they can never grow larger than a badger, for to do so means instant death. The Age of Mammals is a failed experiment, waiting to be extinguished. And then, from the cold, silent dark of deep space, the executioner approaches. A celestial object, a mountain of rock and ice 6 miles wide, is on a collision course. It is moving at 40,000 miles per hour, aimed with cosmic precision at a shallow sea in what we now call the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the Chicxulub impactor. Its arrival is inevitable. Its destiny is to strike the Earth with the force of 10 billion atomic bombs, to vaporize the very crust of the planet, to plunge the world into a nuclear winter that will last for 1,000 years. It will burn 75% of all life from the face of the Earth. It is the Great Reset button. The event that will end the 165 million year reign of the dinosaurs and, in the blackened ashes, finally give our mammalian ancestors their chance. The Cenozoic Era, the Age of Mammals, our age, is waiting to be born from this fire. But what if it was not? What if the universe, in its infinite complexity, had played its hand differently? History does not turn on grand armies. It turns on millimeters. A gravitational nudge from Jupiter, 1 million years prior. A slightly different angle of departure from the Oort cloud. An infinitesimal change in its trajectory, so small as to be meaningless until the final, fateful moment. What if the asteroid missed? The moment of divergence is here. 66 million years ago, the object does not strike the Yucatan. It screams past the planet, a terrifying, beautiful, and harmless streak of light. Perhaps it is close enough to be captured by Earth's gravity, becoming a second jagged moon. Or perhaps more likely, it simply hurtles past, a near miss, a fiery warning in the night sky that the dinosaurs, looking up with their sharp avian eyes, could not possibly comprehend. They see the streak of fire. They perhaps feel the ground tremble as it passes. And then, it is gone. The next morning, the sun rises. The herds of hadrosaurs continue their migration. The Tyrannosaurus hunts. The small mammals hide. Nothing has changed. The cataclysm never came. The Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event is averted. The Cenozoic Era, the Age of Mammals, is stillborn. The Mesozoic continues. The 165 million year rule of the dinosaurs does not end. The first consequence of the asteroid's miss is, paradoxically, nothing. The world simply continues. But history abhors a vacuum, and it also abhors stagnation. The game of evolution, which was about to be reset, now continues into overtime. The great volcanic eruptions at the Deccan Traps in India, which in our timeline were exacerbated by the asteroid's impact, still spew gases. But without the impact's global shroud of dust, they are a regional problem, not a global killer. The planet's climate begins a slow, natural cooling phase, the one our world experienced. The continents continue their slow tectonic drift. The dinosaurs, the unchallenged rulers, now face a new enemy, not fire from the sky, but time and change. Over the next 10, 20, 30 million years, the world cools. The lush, tropical hothouse of the Cretaceous gives way to more temperate zones, to forests with seasons. The old guard, the giants like Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops, are supremely adapted for the world that was. They are specialists, and in evolution, specialists are brittle. They struggle, their populations thin. They either adapt or they follow the path of all things. They die. But the dinosaurs are not one entity. They are a vast and varied class of animals, and as the old giants fade, new opportunities arise. The evolutionary niches they leave open are not filled by the cowering mammals. They are filled by other dinosaurs, smaller, faster, more adaptable, and, critically, smarter dinosaurs. We must turn our attention to one family, the Dromaeosaurs. In our timeline, we know them as the Raptors, Velociraptor, Deinonychus, Utahraptor. In this alternate world, they were already positioned for greatness. They were not brutes. They were complex social hunters. They had large brains relative to their body size. They had stereoscopic binocular vision. They were feathered, which provided insulation against the coming cold. They had complex limbs, hands capable of grasping. They were, in every sense, the primates of the Cretaceous world. While the mammals remained trapped in their nocturnal, burrowing existence, still hunted, still suppressed, still unable to radiate, the Dromaeosaurs flourish. The cooling climate is a pressure. It rewards intelligence. It rewards cooperation. Hunting the newer, faster herbivores requires strategy, communication, and planning. Over millions of years, this pressure shapes them. Their brains grow larger. Their social structures become more complex. The grunts and hisses of the hunt evolve. They become a language. We must abandon our mammalian prejudice. Evolution does not have a goal. It does not strive toward humanity. It strives toward survival. In this timeline, the Dromaeosaurs are the lineage that proves most adaptable. 10 million years pass. 20 million. 30 million. This is a span of time almost incomprehensible, more than enough for profound change. The Dromaeosaurs, or Saurians as we might call them, begin to use tools. At first, simple sticks to probe for insects, or rocks to break bones for marrow. Then crafted tools, spears for hunting, stones for processing food. And how do the other dinosaurs react? The arms race continues. The new herbivores evolve defenses, not just of armor, but of cunning. The skies are not filled with pterosaurs. They were already dying out. They are filled with birds. And we must remember, birds are dinosaurs. They are the avian lineage. In this world, they would be spectacular, diverse, and perhaps fiercely competitive with their land-bound cousins. The critical split happens perhaps 20 million years ago in this alternate timeline. One branch of the Saurians perfects the art of the hunt. They become alpha predators, magnificent, intelligent, and terrifying. But another branch makes a different leap. The same leap our ancestors made. They move from hunting to farming. Perhaps they learned to manage and herd the smaller, more docile herbivores. Perhaps they learned to cultivate the hardy Cretaceous Era plants. With agriculture comes settlement. With settlement comes society. We now jump forward. We leave the deep past and arrive at the present day. 66 million years after the asteroid missed, we are on an Earth that is recognizable in its geography. The continents are where they should be, but it is an alien world. The poles are not frozen. The climate is warmer. The seas higher. The flora is strange. dominated by massive flowering trees and cycads that our ancestors never knew. And the masters of this world are not human. They cannot be. Homo sapiens never had the chance to evolve. The primate lineage, which in our timeline exploded into the vacuum left by the dinosaurs, never happened. In this world, mammals are a footnote. They are the pests, the vermin, the small game. The world is ruled by the Saurian Ascendancy. What do they look like? They are bipedal, standing perhaps 6 feet tall. They are not covered in green, leathery scales. They are covered in a dense coat of complex feathers, perhaps brightly colored to signify status or family. Their avian lineage is clear. Their heads are elongated with large, sharp eyes that see in spectrums we cannot. Their arms are long, and their 3-fingered hands, once tipped with killing claws, have evolved into delicate, precise manipulators. Their language is a symphony of clicks, whistles, and deep, resonant calls, augmented by the complex body language of their feathered crests. Their cities are not our cities. They are not canyons of steel and concrete. They are biological. The Saurians, being reptile-descended, are perhaps masters of genetic engineering. Their structures are grown. Cities of living, sculpted trees, fused at the root and canopy to create vast, interconnected dwellings. They build with manipulated coral along the coastlines. Their technology is not mechanical, it is organic. Bioluminescent fungi light their cities. They harness the power of geothermal vents. They do not forge, they grow. Who are these beings? They are not human. Their intelligence is ancient, cold, and logical. The mammalian emotions that rule us, empathy, passion, chaotic rage, might be alien to them. Their society is built on the ironclad logic of the flock, the pack, a rigid, hierarchical, and deeply communal structure. Their philosophy would not be centered on the individual, a mammalian obsession, but on the group. Their art would be geometric, precise. Their wars, if they have them, would be fought with terrifying biological weapons, plagues and tailored predators. And what of the rest of the world? The wilds are still ruled by giants. The evolutionary arms race has continued. New breeds of tyrannosaurs, perhaps sleeker, smarter, hunt the descendants of the hadrosaurs. Massive long-necked titanosaurs still browse the high canopies. The oceans are not ruled by whales and dolphins. They are ruled by the descendants of the mosasaurs and plesiosaurs, who also survived the non-extinction. It is a world of monsters, and the Saurians are simply the smartest monsters who have carved out their civilization in the midst of this terrible, beautiful ecosystem. The great irony of this new reality is this. In our timeline, humanity rose from the ashes, a frantic, warm-blooded, emotional species, defined by our short lives and rapid innovation. We burned through the planet's resources in a geological blink of an eye. We reached for the moon, driven by a cold war, a tribal conflict. These Saurians, cold-blooded, logical, and ancient, may be far more stable. Their civilization might be thousands, even millions of years old. They may have achieved a perfect, sustainable balance with their world. They may look at the stars not with a desire to conquer, but with the patient, cold gaze of a creature that knows it has all the time in the world. The moon remains untouched. The concept of space travel might be an illogical absurdity to them. Why leave perfection? We stand in the shadow of this alternate present, a world where 66 million years of mammalian evolution, our evolution, was snuffed out before it began. A world where the age of reptiles never ended. It forces us to ask the great question: is humanity the inevitable pinnacle of evolution on Earth? The answer of this timeline is a resounding no. We are an accident. We are the improbable children of a cosmic catastrophe. We exist only because a rock, traveling at an unimaginable speed, happened to be in the right place at the right time. Had it veered by even a single degree, the history of this planet would not be ours. It would belong to them, the Saurians, the true masters of the Earth. This alternate reality teaches us a humbling lesson. Our dominance is not a right, it is a privilege. When we look at a simple bird building its nest, we are looking at a living dinosaur, a tiny echo of the dynasty that ruled this planet for 165 million years. an echo of the world that almost was. It reminds us that history is not written in stone. It is written in the fleeting trajectory of a comet, in the random turn of a gravitational tide, in the fragile shifting sands of what if. But this is just one possibility. What do you think would have happened if the asteroid had missed? What kind of civilization would the dinosaurs have built? Let us know your own theory in the comments. If you enjoy exploring the infinite realities of the what if, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell, because history is never truly finished.